손꼽들하고 가깝게 지내는 것부터.
This story is about Heo Gyun, or commonly called Gyo-san, a brilliant scholar from the Joseon era with progressive thinking. He opposed the palace system, which made him an enemy of Gwansong, an ambitious nobleman who ordered his exile, hoping Gyo-san would change his views. However, during his exile, Gyo-san continued to live happily among the people, which only enraged Gwansong even more.
내가 소시적 어떤 방법이 있는데 생강, 참기름으로 짭.
아니 이것이 내가 아는 그 붕어가 맞단가?
He then offered Gyo-san another chance to return, on the condition that he renounce his beliefs. Gyo-san refused, unwilling to betray his principles, even though his friend Mai Chang tried to persuade him. Because of that, Gwansong ordered the arrest of Gyo-san's friends even though they had done nothing wrong. Mai Chang learned of the plan and warned Gyo-san.
씨는 7살 친구들이 위험하단 말입니다.
내 친구들을 상대로 모략을 꾸미고 있단 말이냐.
To save his friends, Gyo-san eventually escaped from exile. Meanwhile, Mai Chang was captured and blamed for his escape. Gwansong ordered his guards to hunt down and kill Gyo-san. When he was cornered in the forest and about to be killed, a mysterious voice suddenly echoed, causing his pursuers to scream in pain. But before he could be struck, Gyo-san's body vanished as if swallowed by time. Gyo-san woke up confused. He had unexpectedly traveled 400 years into the future, to the year 2024. At that moment, Eun-sil, who was drunk, saw him and thought he was a crazy homeless man. When Gyo-san asked where he was, Eun-sil drunkenly replied that they were in hell. Gyo-san believed her and assumed he was already dead. Their strange conversation ended when Eun-sil's mother came out of her restaurant. Without hesitation, Gyo-san asked for food because he was starving. At first she refused, but his innocent face melted her heart. She allowed him to eat for free.
아저씨, 돈은 있어요? 들어요. 돈 걱정 말고.
Since he had no money, Gyo-san left behind a recipe book as collateral and promised to return. The next day, Gyo-san was shocked to see the advanced modern world. He felt as if his dream world had come true.
조선이 아니다.
When he saw a billboard with a man resembling Gwansong, he was astonished and decided to look for him. Meanwhile, Eun-sil, who had just been fired from her job, met her neighbor, a chef named Lee Hyuk, who turned out to be the man whose picture was on the billboard.
한 번쯤은 제 이웃분들께
완전 맛있어요.
They chatted casually at Lee Hyuk's restaurant. Suddenly Gyo-san appeared, shouting from outside.
이리 오너라!
He immediately hugged Lee Hyuk, thinking he was Gwansong. Eun-sil quickly stopped him and explained that it was Chef Lee, not the man he was looking for. After arguing for a bit, Gyo-san realized he had mistaken the person.
나요! 과거에 함께 급조한 동기!
봐도 우리 셰프님이 어려 보이는구만. 왜 자꾸 형님이래?
Eun-sil returned Gyo-san's recipe book while mocking him. Gyo-san defended himself and entered Eun-sil's mother's restaurant to prove his good intentions. During their argument, Eun-sil's mother, feeling sorry for him, told him to work there.
이런 일을 해본 적 없는 나는 도움이 안 될 거란 뜻이야.
둘?
As a Joseon nobleman, Gyo-san behaved oddly, which annoyed Eun-sil, but her mother liked him. Meanwhile, Chef Lee was stressed because Eun-sil's mother's restaurant had become more popular. Negative comments from netizens and the competition threatened to ruin his culinary district project. Meanwhile, in the Joseon era, Gwansong was furious after hearing reports that Gyo-san had mysteriously vanished after being stabbed. He thought the report was absurd. With a cold tone and sharp gaze, Gwansong threatened his subordinates. If they failed to find Gyo-san, their lives would pay for it. Back in the present, Gyo-san had just finished work and received his wages from Eun-sil's mother. However, before he could get the full amount, Eun-sil deducted part of it with a made-up excuse. She was actually about to go to Lee Hyuk's restaurant to retrieve some things she had left earlier that afternoon.
이게 율도국 화폐요. 이 율도국 화폐가 어째 조선이 어제를 닮았어?
When Eun-sil arrived at Lee Hyuk's restaurant, her demeanor immediately became sweet and polite, unlike how she acted with Gyo-san. Lee Hyuk took the opportunity to get closer to her, hoping to learn more about her mother's restaurant. Misunderstanding his intentions, Eun-sil thought Lee Hyuk was interested in her. When Lee Hyuk asked if her mother had ever mentioned him, Eun-sil looked confused, making him realize that she hadn't. In fact, long before this, Lee Hyuk had met with Eun-sil's mother and offered money to buy her restaurant. He wanted to build a culinary complex and claimed to have obtained agreement from other property owners. However, Eun-sil's mother firmly refused. Even when offered twice the market price, she declined, not wanting people to lose an affordable place to eat. She only accepted his proposal out of politeness, but even that night, there was no sign she intended to sell her restaurant. When Eun-sil returned to the restaurant, she was shocked to see her mother offering Gyo-san a place to stay and a job. Feeling upset, Eun-sil demanded that her mother choose between her or Gyo-san, but her mother was even angrier, especially after learning that Eun-sil had quit her job. Firmly, she told Eun-sil to leave and live however she wanted. Shortly after, Gyo-san came out and saw Eun-sil still standing at the door. He thought her mother would call her back, but instead, she told Gyo-san to take back the wages she had previously confiscated. After that, Gyo-san went to Lee Hyuk's place to apologize for the misunderstanding, but Lee Hyuk was cold and told him to leave. As he was about to go, Gyo-san noticed a photo of a woman named Jung Mi-sol, who looked exactly like Mei-chung. He immediately believed she was indeed Mei-chung, and assumed Lee Hyuk was Gwon-song in disguise. Overcome with emotion, Gyo-san tried to hug him. Startled and panicked, Lee Hyuk pressed the emergency button. The police arrived and took Gyo-san to the station. On the way, he struggled and kept calling for Eun-sil's mother, but she couldn't hear him. She was sitting quietly, listening to music, thinking about Gyo-san, who seemed healthy but unstable. She was also anxious because Eun-sil hadn't come home late into the night. Meanwhile, Eun-sil was partying at a club with her friends, drunk and caught up in the moment.
나를 어디로 데려가는 것이오? 내 집은 조선에 있어.
On the other hand, the police dropped Gyo-san off in the middle of the road because they had to respond to another report. Instead of panicking, Gyo-san enjoyed the night in Korea. He met new people, shared drinks with strangers, and was even interviewed spontaneously, innocently calling Korea the land of Yulda-guk, a place that made him happy.
내가 사는 조선 사람들도 이 모습을 봤으면
By coincidence, Eun-sil saw Gyo-san and was shocked. Her friends left her, so she ended up going home with Gyo-san, who willingly carried her on his back. Along the way, they argued constantly, but Gyo-san didn't mind because he believed he would soon return to Joseon. As they passed an old palace that was now a tourist site, Eun-sil told him that the Joseon Dynasty had fallen more than 100 years ago. The statement shocked Gyo-san, and he dropped Eun-sil and sat down on the road in disbelief. Eun-sil, sobering up from her drunkenness, stopped a taxi and tried to get him to go home, but Gyo-san was too devastated to respond.
이곳은 조선의 다음 나라인 것인가?
She left in the taxi but eventually returned and gave him an umbrella as it began to rain. When she arrived home, Eun-sil found her mother still awake, scolding her for coming home late. Emotionally unstable, Eun-sil lashed out, unknowingly hurting her mother's feelings. She went into her room, saying that she would find a new place to live and move out tomorrow. Meanwhile, Gyo-san, still sitting in front of the palace, slowly calmed down. He tried to think clearly, convincing himself there was a way to return to Joseon. He went back to the restaurant, but saw that Eun-sil's mother had already left. He tried to chase her but was too late. She had vanished down an alley. He eventually sat in front of the restaurant and fell asleep. In his sleep, he dreamed about his final moments in Joseon before disappearing. When he woke up, he thought it had all been a dream, but in his confusion, he heard a scream. Gyo-san immediately searched for the source of the sound and was shocked to find Eun-sil's mother lying unconscious. He panicked and shouted for help, but no one heard him.